Hi, this is Anthony. Welcome back to my show. Today's question is Nano Dimension, NNDM, the worst penny stock? Before I start, please click the subscribe button below. It really helps me out and it doesn't cost you anything. Thanks so much. To answer today's question, my response is no. It's probably not the worst penny stock there is, but we'll look at it. Today, as I make this video, the market is in the green, but for the most part, the last couple weeks have been a bloodbath in the stock market. Many famous investors have been quoted about the best time to invest is when blood is flowing in the streets. And remember, this advice is true for stock indices, not always true for individual stocks. An individual company's stock may be down in sympathy with the rest of the market, which I think we can all agree has advanced far beyond the historic norm for PE ratios. And on the world stage, there's a war going on in Ukraine. In many countries, including the United States, we're experiencing some of the highest levels of inflation in a long time, as well as higher gas and food prices, with potential food shortages and a recession on the horizon. But the alternative for some stocks is that they're primarily down because they're not good investments. So what in the world should one do with Nano Dimension? The whole purpose of investing in the stock market is to have more money when you end than when you started. Let's look at some charts. Since it was floated in 2015, Nano Dimension has lost 96.78%. That means that $100 invested less than 7 years ago would leave you with $3.22 today. During the same time period, a broad-based index like the S&P 500 has increased by about 157%, and that's taking into account this year's current bear market. Now, I've had viewers in the past argue with me and say that my numbers are incorrect because there was a reverse split for Nano Dimension in the past. That is adjusted in the first chart, so don't worry, I'm not misleading you and you don't need to write to me complaining about that point. By the way, for full disclosure, I'm not shorting the stock and I have no intention at the present to trade the stock in any way. I'm simply making this video for educational purposes, and even if I wanted to manipulate the price of the stock one way or the other, the small number of viewers that I have right now in no way could move the market at all. So what are the negatives besides the stock losing over 96% of its value over the course of its lifetime? The company is currently losing money. Look at the charts and financial tables. In the past, they've lost money. They're currently losing money. There's nothing that I can see that will reverse that anytime soon. So your investable dollars are better spent in putting it somewhere with a greater probability of investment returns. And by the way, if these shares are undervalued at this point, then why is ARK Invest and Cathie Wood selling rather than buying at this point? Or for that matter, why isn't anyone else buying? Why aren't executives buying at these prices? Sure, there's the possibility that you could buy at Nano's current low price, and if you're lucky, there might be a bump up and you could sell at a profit. But again, look at the chart and think to yourself, you could have put the money in so many other things and come out ahead. Analysts point out that they have over $1 billion in the bank. That's certainly true, or was true at some point in the recent past, and that's great for the company, but that money came from a secondary share offering last year. It's not because they sold a bunch of machinery and made money. They sold a bunch of new shares, which diluted the equity of existing shareholders. And still the stock keeps falling faster than the current bear market. Oh, and look at the market capitalization of the company. It's a little over $658 million. That's, of course, the stock price multiplied by the number of shares that have been issued. Either the current price is a deep discount to its true price, or investors see no future for this company, and they've probably spent a lot of that $1 billion already. People argue that the problem with the company up until recently was the fault of the previous management, and the new managers and CEO will take the company to profitability. That may or may not be true, and I would encourage you to look at my previous videos where I go into more about that subject. The last negative thing that I'm going to point out is there is always the danger that the company will enact a second reverse split. Reverse splits are usually bad because it tells you that the company thinks that the shares are going to continue falling into the foreseeable future. If a stock gets too low, it risks being delisted from exchanges, but the problem with reverse stock splits for the small investor is that most, but not all, brokerages and trading platforms will charge a fee for reverse splits, which is never charged for regular splits. In the case of my account, which is a no commission account from a big broker, I am charged a $38 fee for a reverse split. The videos that I've done concerning Nano Dimension have been some of the most popular ones that I've published. I would encourage interested parties to watch those as I go over the positives that some people argue about the company. For the sake of brevity, I'm not going to discuss that here, but all that information and the links are in the videos. After reading the whole articles online and other sources of information that you find about the company, including looking at their financials, which you can find all over the internet, then and only then should you make any decision on buying or selling shares in Nano Dimension. So if after doing your own research you agree that Nano Dimension is not a good security to invest in, then what should you put your money into? Again, I'm not a financial advisor and I'm not giving you financial advice. We are in a bear market, which means that the market is going down now. I've mentioned a lot of negatives on the world and national stage. Those may cause domestic stock markets to continue to go down or sideways for a period of time, possibly for a number of years. I'm always long-term bullish on the American stock market because I think long-term the majority of companies will sell goods and services to consumers and their stock prices will eventually go up. That being said, often the standard advice is to dollar cost average into mutual funds, which track broad market indices like the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ Spiders or the Dow Jones Industrial Average. This is not financial advice, but long-term investing in indices like those is generally fairly safe and financially rewarding if you are a patient long-term investor. For potential investors willing to take more risk, I think that recent hits to the shares of Amazon and Tesla, due to a combination of both financial results and or other news, has potentially provided an opportunity to get into them at this point. Again, this is not financial advice. I've done several videos on Palantir, and in fact Palantir, Amazon, and Tesla are my three largest holdings. I think at recent lows, Palantir is a very intriguing stock with great prospects. Do your own research on them to see if they may be appropriate for some part of your well-diversified portfolio. But of course, view all my videos on Palantir also for additional ideas about the company. Okay, that's enough thoughts about stocks for today. I would really appreciate it if you made it this far if you'd leave a comment, either positive or negative. I could take the negative criticism, and in fact I've made videos in the past where I specifically analyze various viewers' critiques of my arguments. I would love to do that again if viewers leave comments. And if you like this type of content and want to see more, it would really help me out if you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Also, please view my other videos, and if you like them, click the like button. It also helps out if you leave a comment in the comment section for each one. I'm on Instagram at Anthony R.R. Mills. You can follow me there. Since this channel is not yet monetized, if you want to help me out, I sell small collectibles on eBay. Things like old stock and bond certificates, coins and banknotes, stamps and postal items, and books along with other things like Masonic items. If you're interested in buying silver coins as collectibles or investments, I usually have some listed. If you're interested in investing in gold or silver as a commodity, I have a few YouTube videos that explain how you can easily do that, plus some of the pitfalls in doing so. You can find my items on eBay with my username stock_tycoon. Thanks for watching and good luck.